Good morning to you. Today is mostly about helping people launch their own masterminds, group coaching programs and club models. I was due to have a call actually right this second. Unfortunately, he's got held up. Shit happens. So we've postponed that and we'll do that early evening tonight. Actually, interestingly, he came on my one-day program all about how to launch your mastermind in 90 days. And he did that very thing. In fact, I think he launched it within about 6 weeks, certainly within 2 months. So I'll be super excited to check in with him and see how he's getting on with his mastermind and how I can help him develop his mastermind empire better, how I can serve him better. So we'll have that call later on this evening. I'll check in with you and share what goes on in there. If you're interested in masterminds, by the way, or launch your own group coaching programs and clubs, I'm going to share you lots of tips throughout today because I've got a lot of stuff going on around that subject matter. So I've got that call with him at 6. I'll share what comes up with that because that may well be of use for you. Also, in about 45 minutes, I've got a coaching call with a number of entrepreneurs and experts who are currently in the process of building their mastermind proposition. So they haven't launched just yet. We've got 3 guys. They haven't launched just yet. They're looking at launching in about the next 6 weeks, I think, certainly within the next 2 months. So I'm going to jump on that call with them and help continue to mentor them to make sure they've got their proposition right, make sure they're marketing it right, make sure that they are getting the people in through the front door, the right people, and then obviously making sure that they've got the process in place to be able to reliably inform these people of what they can expect to get by joining their masterminds, and of course making sure that ultimately they fill them with the right caliber and the right people. I keep saying that, the right caliber, the right people. Masterminds, group coaching programs, etc. When they're face to face, okay, when they're in the room, there's a finite number of people you can have in the room. You have to be really specific about who you want in that room. And a big part of what I do when I mentor people on launching their own masterminds is making sure they get really crystal clear on who they do want, but equally what they don't want and who they don't want in that group. And it's really hard because a mastermind transaction is not like a one-off transaction where you think, you know, well, I don't really like you, we don't really get on well, we don't really share similar values, but hey, you've got cash, I've got a product, let's do business. You're gonna work with this person for 12 months. In fact, most of my mastermind members last with me for many years. So of course, this is a long-term transaction. You've got to make sure you get the right people in the door for your sake, but also for their sake, but also because you're creating the right culture and the right environment. So once you've launched your mastermind, I'm telling you now, your success is about making sure they get the success that you promised them, but also it's about creating the right culture and the right environment. And that, my friend, is what we are absolute experts at. So I'm super excited to be helping these guys today. In between those 2 pieces of work, I'm going to go and get my kids for our last summer visit. They're back in a couple of weeks anyway, but it's the last of our summer visits. Got something super cheesy, but I think also pretty bloody cool tomorrow night, so I'll share that with you as well, and that's really what they're coming up here for. Anyway, I hope you're going to be productive today. I hope you're focused on what you're going to do today. If you are interested in masterminds, group coaching programs or clubs, for example, definitely watch the remainder of this video because I'm going to keep sharing you some content that basically gets stimulated by the calls and what happens with these people. I may even record some of our coaching calls and share some of that with you because it may be of value to you. If you're an expert, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, a mentor, a facilitator, if you've got expert status right now, people look up to you. I mean millions of people, by the way, but you've got enough people that look up to you, listen to you, respect you. You really want to be looking at the mastermind model. It's super efficient in terms of your time and energy. They're super valuable in terms of profitability, but also you get to have an unbelievable impact with your clients. It's what I call a win, 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 win. Everybody wins. Anyway, I'll jump on that bike quickly, come down here, and then we're going to get on that group coaching call, and I'll share a little bit of that with you after that. Have an awesome day. I'll check in with you just a little bit. Okay, so we've just got off of our Zoom call with our mentees that we are coaching and mentoring through launching their own masterminds. And an interesting question came up and I thought I'd share it with you and share you my answer. And that is, how do you get people to come from that initial introduction with you into joining a mastermind or into joining you for a discovery day where you demonstrate to people what mastermind's all about? 2 schools of thought here. You go for volume and you go the numbers game route, or you go for the sort of more sniper kind of approach. Now, both work, and it all really depends on how you're currently running your business, how you currently get leads and your events that you currently run, for example. For some people, it would make sense to get 50 people in a room, and as part of that event, to offer your mastermind opportunity to them and say to them, right, you know what, this is what we're doing at Mastermind, this is what we're doing, these are the results that we're getting, testimonials, case studies, etc., etc. And you say, if this sounds like it's suitable for you, then join us for this intimate Discovery Day, where we will take you through the whole ins and outs of what Mastermind is and how we run ours, what makes us different, and ultimately how we can get the same result for you. Or you can go straight to the intimate Mastermind, right? So straight to Discovery Day, where you have 5, 6, 7 people, 10, 12 people maximum maybe in that room. It all really depends on how you do it. If you're already running events and you're already getting 20, 30, 40, 50 people in a room, then of course it makes sense to continue to do the same, play the numbers game. You've got some good numbers coming through. There's a good chance you're going to get your conversions. And of course, there's a whole load of other stuff you can do with those people that don't potentially buy your mastermind from you or come to your Discovery Day, right? You've got a lot of people on your list who have come and heard you speak, and that's really valuable. However, if you don't or can't fill rooms of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people, 100 people, whatever it might be, then of course it can be incredibly intimidating to go out there and try and market an event to get 50 people in a room, knowing only 5, 6 or 7 of them are going to end up in your Discovery Day anyway. So my advice is really simple. If you're not running events right now and you're not used to getting 40, 50 people in a room, then do not go down that route. Put the time in having what I would call discovery calls with prospects, to go out and target people or go out and market and get some traction with certain people, and then get on the phone and spend half an hour pre-selling, pre-closing, pre-qualifying those leads to make sure they're the right kind of people for you, and then invite them to the day where you ultimately will share with them what you're doing and how what you're doing can work for them. Does that make sense? So don't feel you have to be like a massive events company with 50 people in a room thinking, right, I'll try and get 5 of them 10% or 20% conversion to come to my Discovery Day, to come in here and learn about Masterminds. Absolutely, either get on the phone and target them one at a time and spend half an hour with every person. You know, even if you're only looking at getting 6 people on the thing, if you have half-hour phone calls, it's 3 hours of phone calls to get 6 pre-qualified leads in that room who are already interested in what you're offering. You're going to get really good conversions. Typically, out of our small intimate groups that we run, 6 people, 5 people, 6, 7 people maximum, I think the most we've ever had is like 10 or 12. But typically, you know, we run these, but there's let us 4 or 5 people in a room, or 4 or 5 businesses in a room. We expect to get about half of those people joining us long-term on Masterminds, and that's not a cheap proposition, right? So the conversions are incredibly high because we're putting in the legwork early on with that kind of sniper approach of putting a few hours in up front just to pre-qualify. However, I'm telling you now, if you're into mass marketing, you're into really getting big numbers through your business already, why would you break it? You know, use the same model as you're using there. Pre-qualify them through your marketing, pre-qualify them through a big event, whatever it might be, get them into your Mastermind Discovery Day that way. Anyway, I thought it was a really interesting question, simply because we go for that sniper approach and we're very good at that. That's what we do day in and day out. For these guys we're working with, actually, bigger numbers probably works better for them. One of them more so than the other. So there you go. If you're interested in running masterminds, launch your own masterminds, etc., free tidbit there. Do with it what you will, but absolutely I thought it was an interesting question, and I thought it's something definitely worth thinking about. Right, we'll jump in the car, go and pick up my girls, get back here. I've got to pick up a poorly ferret actually on the way home from the vet, bring her back here and my daughters, and then I've got a quick phone call with a guy also I'm helping launch his masterminds. I'll share more about that when we have that call. And then we're going to breathe and relax for the evening, and we've got a long weekend with my kids. Anyway, hope you're having an awesome day. As always, like I say it over and over again, hope you've been productive doing whatever it is that you're doing, and I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Okay, I was about 4 hours on the road. We made it back. I jumped straight into a call with a prospect to talk about how we can support him and help him in his ambitions in his business. Had lunch, dinner, and then we've come out to walk the dogs on what is a stunning evening, which I'll share with you in just a moment. I'm not sure what's going on back there. Anyway, so I'm just going to sign off here and everything else. In your business, make sure, as always, you surround yourself with people that make you want to do better, be better, make you want to step up and be held accountable to everything you need to do in order to get you, your life and your business where it needs to be. Have an awesome one. I'll check in with you tomorrow. We've got a super cheese fest tomorrow. I'm going to share that with you as it goes through the day. But kind of cool, cheese fest. Anyway, you'll know what I mean when you see it. Have a good one. Catch you later.